How to be successful in selling real estate? Join me in today's video as I go through 8 recommendations that I would suggest to get to the next level or take a different direction or just overall success in selling real estate. I would say the first step in trying to become successful in selling real estate would be to write your goals down. What do you want out of this business? What do you want to give back in this business? Write those goals down, give yourself some direction on what you truly want, how you can serve clients, and how you can really be sustainable in this business. It's not for the faint of heart. This is not a business that I think is easy at all. But if you have a clear path, clear goals, write down what you truly want, how much you want to make in a year, maybe how many transactions you want to do. And when you write down your goals, I would get down to the nitty-gritty. How much gross commission would you like to earn in a year? What does that look like? What's your lifestyle in going in that direction? And when I talk about writing goals, and I know we're talking about, selling real estate here, but when I say write goals down, I mean you're the 5 circles, not just your business life, but your personal, your spiritual, your family, all of those other circles in your life. I think it's good and recommended to be well-rounded. Nobody can work 24/7, although this business definitely can become that. But I think if you're clear and concise about what you really want out of life and real estate and your business, because after all, when you're working so many hours per day and just so much time out of a whole lifetime that I think it's good to have direction, and it's good to be able to, because when you write your goals down, you can then kind of compare to, oh, look at all the things I accomplished last year, and then look back and say, okay, I did this last year, what would I like to do this year? So writing your goals down would be the first step. Step number 2 is kind of obvious. It's to get your license. But honestly, and I know my colleagues would agree with me on this, getting your license doesn't teach you how to do this business at all. Actually, it's a lot of math. It's a lot of legal jargon. And it's just a formality to get you to have that license so that you can sell in whatever state you're in, right? So obviously get your license. Step number 3, get a mentor. When I started, I had one for a full year. I've had many, but the very first year I was lucky to have been placed with a very, very successful realtor. She's very successful to this date, top 1% at least. So I think that setting the tone early on and having a really strong, positive, successful mentor out the gate will set that tone and set that level of expectation, that 5-star client service. Because you don't know what you don't know, and there's so much to learn in real estate, and by starting off on the right path, by having a mentorship of some kind, will help set the bar and help set the tone for years to come. Step number 4 is creating systems. I cannot tell you how critically important this is in not only real estate, but any business that you're trying to run. And I think the issue with some people that get into this selling real estate is they don't look at it as a business. So you have to be organized, write your goals down, have a good mentor, right? Create systems. And what do I mean by systems? People say that all the time. What I mean by that, what has worked for me, is creating the list of tasks that create business, create relationships. This is a relationship business, and it's one that when you have great relationships, they will want to work with you over and over again as long as you do a good job, right? So it's a relationship business, and therefore in all of that, there are a multitude of things that need to be done, right? So this is systems in place. What are the things you're going to do daily and repeat over and over and over and over again? So one of the key things that I use is just the Google Calendar. Put recurring things like doing these videos. Every single week, twice per week minimum, I do a video, right? And I put it out there. and I'm educating the public. So no matter what it is, whether it's open houses or making your calls or, following up with leads or being out calling agents in your feeder markets or whatever that is, those are systems. And just save, okay, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to make my calls, and my goals are, refer back to your goals. My goals are to make 10 calls per day to my database and 10 calls to agents in my feeder networks or whatever that might look like for you. Just put it in your calendar, fill your calendar up with things to do that are productive, okay? And getting you in front of people, and do it over and over and over again. It's repetitive. It's not sexy, okay? Do the things that are not sexy, like it's like working with your stockbroker or your financial advisor, right? They tell you to do the things that create wealth are not sexy. They're repetitive, and you do over and over and over, but they work. So create systems. Step number 5, build your market knowledge. Just build your knowledge, your expertise overall. And I mean, this takes time, right? It definitely takes time. Go onto the MLS every day. Go under your hot sheet. Look at your markets that you want to sell in and learn that market inside and out. There's so much information out there. Nothing beats face-to-face though, right? Face-to-face in front of these properties. Going on broker tours, open houses, stop at general open houses, meet agents, go talk to people, seek out other mentors. You can have like your main mentor or your coach or whatever. You can hire and pay for a coach. You can have your broker coach you. You can have your top teammate as your mentor or whatever. But you can seek out other people. That's how you learn. And like my first year in real estate was 2002, and I made a point of being in the office like a lot because there's energy there. You pick up on things that you don't at home. Forget the work at home nonsense. You hear me? You hear me, folks? No more working at home. That's not going to get you out in front of people, so being out with people, listen to podcasts, read books, continuing education. Again, all of the things that I'm talking about are part of your systems as well. So make this a priority. Even put this in your calendar. Okay, let me go to these open houses and then read about it. Listen to, on the way. You can listen to a podcast on the way to your broker's open or on the way to this. Like, use your time wisely, okay? There's a lot of wasted time and energy with realtors that I see chit-chatting in the office. Okay, there's a time and place. And yes, I get that happens probably in every office atmosphere. Learn when to cut that down and just move on and be productive, okay? Because you can waste a lot of time doing that too. But when I say be in the office, be productive in there, like have your ear out, listen, like seek all those people out. Seek out someone that you feel like is successful, right? And if you're serious, don't waste their time either, because a successful agent doesn't have time to waste. So if you're serious about it, seek them out and be serious. Like, follow through, communicate, show someone that you're interested in learning from them, and follow through, because people just fall off. They don't follow through, they don't communicate. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in real estate, and if you want that mentorship, you've got to seek that out, period. Number 6, building relationships. Of course you want to have relationships with your clients. Your clients are not just contracts, okay? They're people. You're dealing with something that is moving people's lives, moving families, like picking up and going somewhere else, or if it's a second home, creating a different lifestyle for these people. You're moving families, and so these are relationships that hopefully last a lifetime. My goal is to create everlasting relationships with people that I care about and that understand how hard I will work for them. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. And it is a business, but at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, you're moving these families, and it's important that you stay in touch with people, make them understand that you're available, that you're knowledgeable, all the things that I talked about, okay? And again, make a point of, going to coffee with these people, going to lunch if you can, don't waste a lot of time, with the people that just want to, pick your brain and things like that are not serious. But, at the end of the day, it is a relationship business, and I think it's important to really care about your clients. Like, don't just do this for the money, although it can be definitely a very lucrative business. People will see past that. And so you have to have some genuine like heart and soul in this business as well, because if not, people will see through that. You know, there's a lot of ups and downs in real estate, and I think that if you have a passion for what you do, people will see that. And if you genuinely love it, you know, in a general sense, like, again, people see through that if you don't. And yeah, and also not just clients, relationships, but other agents, right? I talked about that earlier in the video, that, you know, creating a network of realtors around the country is really important too, because we live on referrals. As a realtor, repeat and referral business is critically important, because if you don't do a good job, negativity spreads faster than positivity. If you don't know, now you know. You know what I mean? So you have to do a good job, because people will talk, and you don't want to have a bad reputation, right? So again, your heart and soul has to be in this. If you want to stay in this for the long haul, relationships really, really matter. Number 7, do all the free things that you can. You don't have to spend a ton of money. I spend about, it varies, but about 7% of my gross income, gross commission income, GCI, on marketing. It's very, very lean. So I do spend on marketing, obviously marketing and advertising for my clients and for my brand. Okay, so that's all encompassed is about 7%. I used to spend a lot more on Zillow, okay, and Zillow leads and Realtor.com leads, and there's a bunch of online lead stuff that you can do. So number 7 on the list would be do all the free things that you can. YouTube is free, but like anything, you have to be consistent. Whatever you pick to do, whether it's free or not free, be consistent. And again, I go back to the systems, go back to your calendar, go back to your goals. Recurring systems, always go back to your goals. Does this fit in line with your goals? So, free things, social media. Guys, there's so many free things. Social media, Instagram. How many social media platforms are there? I would say pick one and be really strong on that. My personal take on it is video is very, very important. And where can you go? Okay, I'm just going to say, like, of course, YouTube. You know, it's a library of long form video content that you can cut up, cut. So if you do long form, you can cut those up and repurpose those in so many different ways. You can create these as QR codes and put them in your mailers or whatever means of advertising that you like to do. But pick one platform that you really like that's free and stick to it, and don't stop, because it's a long game. All of this in real estate, selling real estate, is a long game. And just when you think it's not working, you stop, and you're at that, you know, like that visual where there's like the iceberg or whatever, and you're like almost to the end of it, but there's all these other things underneath, or like you're digging for gold and you're almost to the gold, but you stop and you don't realize how close you were. It's the marathon, it's not the sprint. That's the name of this real estate game. And if you want to get into it, you better strap your boots in. You better strap your boots in. God, it's Friday. I don't know. It's Friday as the day of this filming. You better buckle up, Buttercup, because it's not for the faint of heart. You've got to have a thick skin. You've got to be consistent. You have to have a strong work ethic. Number 8, put the work in. There's really not much around hard work and dedication and commitment, okay? Number 8 on the list, do the work, okay? You don't just do one video and make $500,000, okay? That's not how this business works. Some people get lucky. It's probably the half of a 1% of people that get lucky and make that happen. And I tell you what I've seen over the years, people have sold like $1 million house like week 1 or month 1, and they think, oh my gosh, this business is so easy, and then they drop off and they stop doing anything, or they just sit back and think that the phone's gonna ring. That's not how this all works, you know. And I've seen so many agents do that, or they fall into like an easy situation, and now they've long been out of the business, okay, because they thought it was like, oh, this is so easy. It's a long game, guys. So let's go back over the list here. So it's write your goals down, be very concise, be very specific about what you really want out of the business and what you want to give to the business. Okay, I would say 90% is giving to the business versus taking. So be mindful of that. Obviously, number 2, get your license. Number 3, find a really great mentor. Just really, there's so many great ones out there. And you know, it's not like a lifetime commitment. You know, just test out the waters, find someone great for you. It's got to be a fit, right? Again, that's a relationship too. That's going to be really important. So find a mentor. Systems, number, 4, systems are so important, guys, because otherwise you're just lollygagging through life haphazardly, no sense of organization or semblance of, like, you know, consistency. Consistency wins at the end of the day, right? Build your market knowledge. I mean, it's just like, you know, people will read through if you don't know what you're doing. And it does take time. It really, really, start small. Start in your neighborhood. Like, learn that neighborhood inside and out. And then move on. And then keep doing. It's never going to stop, you know, because the market's constantly fluid. So you're going to, this is a long game. You have to keep learning daily. It doesn't stop. So, you know, and I think in line with this would be to pick a market also that I didn't mention. You know, when I first started, I was kind of like all over the place because I didn't know. I didn't know what I really wanted to or gravitated toward. I thought I was, you know, too young to do luxury. I don't know. I had a lot of misconceptions myself, right? Because I was very young. I was 21, right out of college. You know, what did I know? Nothing. I didn't even know my map. I didn't even know this area. So I didn't have that confidence. But when you have the market knowledge and the expertise, you're confident. And that will exude to your clients. So market knowledge is really, really important. Building relationships and networking with clients, networking with agents, all of it. Business people, local business people. That's important too because they know people. Doing all the free things and put it in the work. Nothing beats hard work. And if you're consistent, it'll come and it will happen. So good luck to you guys if you're new or thinking of entering into the real estate craziness of selling real estate. But, you know, if you work hard, you're consistent, you follow through, and you do all the things I talk about, you will be successful. So I hope that helps somebody out there. And I'm always a resource, right? And by the way, if you're thinking of selling or purchasing in Sarasota, Manatee, or Charlotte counties, I'm here. I've been here selling since 2002 in many different markets. This is another new market we're experiencing. It's kind of an equilibrium market now. Check out my end of the month market update videos, the last one being end of April 2024. So check that out as I post every single month at the end of the month to make sure that you're informed, like I'm putting my money where my mouth is, right? So again, I want to be a resource whether you're thinking of purchasing or selling. So please reach out, 941-544-7690. And if you prefer this, Shayla Twit at gmail.com.